Can I beat Lego Batman the video game without dying? Short answer, no. But we're gonna try anyway. Hey guys, and welcome back to Plasmatic Productions. My name is Plasmatic, and today we're gonna see if we can both set up and thwart the Penguin's scheme to take over the crime families of Gotham City. Oh, wait, no, that's the show. Today we're gonna set up and stop the Penguin's plan to take over all of Gotham City with mind-controlled explosive penguins. Yeah. So, all of Batman's villains have escaped from Arkham Asylum. Upon his early release, the Penguin has formed a team made of Killer Croc, who's just a guy with a bad skin condition, Bane, who was raised in prison serving the sentence of his father only to become addicted to a strength drug called Venom, Man-Bat, who's just a guy who, in trying to cure his hearing loss, accidentally turned himself into a mindless monster, and Catwoman. She's just a jewel thief. First off, they need to get a satellite dish in order to control all of the penguins they're going to use for their army to take over Gotham. Fortunately, a perfect one's being delivered to the dock, so Penguin and Bane head off to go steal it. Unfortunately, the cops seem to be guarding the shipyard pretty well, but with Bane's incredible strength, we make quick work of them and all the sailors and fishermen that come to stop us. Fortunately, we make it through the whole level in just a few minutes, because this is honestly one of the most boring levels in the entire game. The dockyards are really gray and monotonous, but the worst thing about it is the final cutscene here where Bane gets defeated by himself for throwing a temper tantrum, finally explaining why he's the only villain we never fight in the whole game. The next step in Penguin's plan is to go with Catwoman to get some sort of diamond they need for the device. As they make their way across the rooftops, we end up encountering a police helicopter, which drops a bomb right on us and kills us. On our next go, we make it past that point and drop ourselves into the Museum of Natural History, where the diamond is being kept. The best part of all of this is the fact we get to ride this giant dinosaur and destroy all of these boxes, which is really satisfying. We make it all the way into the final room, but fortunately neither Penguin nor Catwoman makes for a great combatant in this game, with neither having a particularly useful gimmick, ending in our death at the hands of the security guards. On my next run, I realized that since I'm doing this challenge in a save file I've 100% completed, I could turn on some extras that would help the challenge go a little faster, but not easier. I turned on the stud magnet so I wouldn't get as distracted trying to get studs, and the fast build so it just wouldn't be as tedious. But I didn't turn on anything like regenerate hearts, extra hearts, or invincibility. I struggled a lot on this run, but finally made it all the way till the end. Catwoman evades capture by jumping around so well that it impresses the guards, then cuts a hole in the window to escape, though she won't escape for long. As arriving on the streets of Gotham City, Batman and Robin chase down Catwoman, though in the process of doing so, they come into conflict with Penguin's goons and henchmen. In case you didn't watch the last part in the series, Batman and Robin have a really useful tool for this challenge, the Batarang. While aiming them, they are completely invincible, and the Batarangs themselves do massive damage. Once we find Catwoman, she's a little slippery, but she goes down pretty easily. She tries to get away after kissing Batman, but he doesn't let her escape that easily. The gem is then stolen by Isis, and we are left wondering what to do. Isis is her cat, by the way, just in case there was any confusion. Meanwhile, just across the harbor, the Penguin sees Catwoman being captured by Batman, so he and Killer Croc take to the water to evade their own capture. So, remember when in the last video when I said I was relieved vehicle missions wouldn't be a challenge in this game? About that. It was only the Batmobile that was overpowered and easy to control. The water vehicles, on the other hand, well, they are just as much of a nightmare to control as the starships in LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. It seems like the police watercraft here can turn faster than us, as they swarm us right there and shoot us to death. I get myself a little revenge before deciding that, well, I gotta stick to the challenge, exit the level, and restart. My next death is really stupid, as I was underwater as the Penguin submarine, while this toxic goo was dissipating, and despite thinking I was safe, I got destroyed by it. I also got killed right here when I was switching to Croc. Another similar thing happened on my next go, and once more on my next, and then the cops overwhelmed us again. And then, in combat with the giant police watercraft, one of its shots destroys us. The light watercraft kills us one more time. Make that twice. And our final death comes from the very same source, but at least it's in the final room. We destroy the giant police watercraft, And now with the cops down, Penguin and Croc drop anchor in the harbor, though unbeknownst to them, Batman and Robin are hot on their tails. Also, meanwhile, Isis delivers the gem to Catwoman while she's in her cell. On our way to the next level, we somehow fall through the elevator right to our deaths, so add one more to the counter. Anyway, despite the Penguin and Croc taking out the police, Batman and Robin are on the way to stop them in yet another vehicle level. Oh joy. Just like the vehicles in the last level, the Batboat and Robin's watercraft are super sluggish, and this level introduces these towable bombs that we have to use, so Leia, it's cold outside. We blow ourselves up right in the first few seconds of the level. Ain't that neat? We figured out how to make the bombs just sort of drift in the right direction to hit their target and easily fight through all of Penguin's henchmen until we get to the Penguin submarine boss fight. There are 4 versions of the Penguin submarine that appear in the game. There's the one we just played as in the last level, aka the U-99. There's this evolved U-99 that we fight in the level. There's the giant submarine base that we see in sub cutscenes, and then there's the U-98 that we see in the hub world and the intro to this level. The U-98 is used as the Penguin henchman submarine, but it's interesting that it's the one that we see in the hub world, as none of the other henchman vehicles are used as the primary ones there. The U-98 and U-99 were both physical LEGO sets, and I have the physical U-98 one, so I've got a bit of an attachment to that design. Also because I prefer the brick-built beak and all that, but now I'm getting real nitpicky and I'm talking way too much about the LEGO Penguin submarine lore. Anyway, we're killed during the boss fight once by the respawning bomb, but fortunately, that's it, and we take down the submarine. With the Penguin sub down, Batman and Robin have Penguin and Croc on the back foot, but Croc decapitates Robin, giving him and Penguin enough time to escape into the sewers. Now in the sewers, Penguin and Croc plan to infiltrate the police headquarters' lockup to free Catwoman in order to gain the gem. And so, of course, the best way to do that is to build a giant crocodile in the sewers and eat all of these sewer workers. We make our way up the sewer grate in the precinct bathroom, only to be ambushed by all the fully armed cops on the can. We make our way into the lockup and take care of all the cops without much problem, other than this bit here where we get knocked down to 1 heart for a while. We rescue Catwoman and prepare to make our way to the zoo, though Croc stays behind to fend off the cops. After scaring off a full-on crocodile, we're back to playing as Batman and Robin. Once getting into Robin's water suit, his batarangs become the most overpowered tool in the entire game. Robin's water suit becomes equipped with Freeze batarangs, which combines Mr. Freeze's ability with the batarang ability to create this even more awesome ability. In Croc's boss fight, he takes us down to 1 heart, but we manage to stay alive just long enough to finish him off. Unfortunately, we don't get a level with Penguin and Man-Bat, so we skip right to Batman and Robin going after them. Interestingly, Man-Bat is the only story villain that you never play as in the game. A case could also be made for Scarecrow in the Joker chapter, as you only play as him in an airplane, but that's a story for the next video. Anyway, this level is where I first discovered the secret blocking mechanic that you can perform with any of the superheroes, and I learned it by accident doing it on this exact jump. In the game, whenever you jump and then hold the attack button, you enter this state of blocking that makes you completely invulnerable. I used it a lot more in the last challenge video if you want to see it really put to use. Anyway, this is honestly one of my favorite levels in the entire game, just for the contrast from the Winter Pen section to this jungle cruise bit. Not that I even made a single jump in crossing these lily pads, but hey, at least it's just harmless water below and not lava or toxic ice cream. Watch the other no-death videos for some more context there. But when we get to fight Man-Bat himself, he does get the better of us once, but we soon have him wrapped up in his own wings somehow, and that traps him? I don't really understand how this works, but I'm not complaining, I guess, because now with Man-Bat down, Catwoman and Penguin make their way to the Arctic World section of the zoo. Or at least that's what I think this is. I don't know what it is about this level, but I've always found it really tedious. It's probably just because I've had to play it at least a dozen times because of this one mini-kit that you have to get by sliding through all these doors in this section here. Since there's no way to try again without restarting the entire level, and since it's really hard to do, I've had to do this first half of the level so many times in order to 100% complete this game. Anyway, we set up the satellite dish and we unleash our army of armed penguins onto the city of Gotham. There's absolutely nothing that could stop us now. Well, okay, maybe there's 1 or 2 things. Dropping down into the Arctic World display, I'm a little confused as to where all the freeze goers are coming from, and and why they've started wearing red. Weren't these ladies Mr. Freeze's henchmen? Ah, whatever. We make it into the room with the active satellite, powered by these penguins on treadmills. In combat with the penguin and the freeze goils, the penguin does manage to get in a good whack with his umbrella, killing us. But fortunately, that was just a fluke, and just a few minutes later, we deliver a good whack of our own. That's for killing Victor, you son of a... Oh, wait, did I just spoil the show? Heh, my bad. Go watch it anyway, it's really good. Anyway, the Penguin's plan is shut down, and all the villains are sent back to Arkham. 3 years before Arkham City did it, Bane and Killer Croc are stopped by some flimsy metal bars, while Man-Bat and Catwoman seem just fine being locked up in their cells. And the Penguin can clearly fit through those bars too, so now I'm understanding how they all escaped in Lego Batman 2. Anyway, we head off into the Dark Knight on the Batboat, having died 17 times during the Riddler chapter. Sorry, not the Riddler chapter. 17 times during the Penguin chapter. Far more than the 5 deaths we amassed during the Riddler chapter, but far less than the 35 or so we averaged each movie of the Indiana Jones challenges. Let's hope that the Joker chapter does better for us, but for that you'll have to stay tuned for next time. Please leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to just help us grow a little bit. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.